Good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about support on a 1 minute and how to trade on a 1 minute candlestick charting. We're currently looking at Dominion Resources. Um, the stock is obviously trading at 65 and change on 1 minute chart. I notice a lot of support here right below. If you see about 65.29 would be our stop order. I would purchase it here at 65.51 at market. So let's say we have 22-cent risk right here going long. Uh, pick up 1,000 shares. 22 cents risk is $220. However, I believe we can see a lot more, maybe 3 times more than what we're risking. So we're looking at roughly 600 bucks on a $200 risk. Uh, Now the reason why I believe this is a long based on the 1 minute chart, not even going to the 10-minute chart, because yesterday the market Dominion closed at 64.90. Today it gapped up, went higher, and as the MAC histogram trailed and went negative, Dominion had not even gone down and closed its gap. And if you continue looking at the MAC histogram, you see a lower low over here, and then a higher low here, and then even a higher low and a higher low. So what this tells me that there's an up force move on Dominion, and it should explode real shortly on a 1 minute chart. This up move can go for 30 minutes, could go for the whole day, or can just go for the next 5 or 7 minutes. Um, you have to trade wisely and use your stop orders adequately. So currently we're just up a couple of pennies, but what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pause it and just let me show you what the 10-minute looks like. As you can see, there's support here, as I stated, at 65.30. Our stop should be at 65.29. We purchased it at 65.51. So we believe this should go higher, especially it seems like a reversal's in play and there's a lot of support. I'll pause it right here and I'll start recording once it had made a move either way. I forgot to mention about the 10-15 rule. I'm not sure if the individual that's reviewing this current recording is familiar with the 10-15 rule, and you only can look at it by the 5 minute chart. 10-15 rule is, and this is about 80% accurate. It's not 100%. Nothing in the markets is ever 100% accurate. But according to the 10-15 rule, by 10-15, if it forms a new high, at 10:15 or after 10:15 or a new low for that matter, it will form a newer high or a newer low throughout the day. So at 10:10 there was a high, a newer high. At 10:15 there wasn't. As you can see, this was 10:10's high of the day. This is 10:15's high of the day. However, at 10:25 there was a newer high. So since that's the first newer high after 10:15, and these three bars at 1040, these two bars at 1040 and 1050 reached up to that high, hasn't formed a new high. That means we're expecting a newer high by the end of today. So brace yourselves. Like I said, this is an 80% accuracy as far as the 10-15 rule, and taking into consideration on the 1 minute, huge support over here, gap play. The MAC histogram went negative. However, Dominion Resources had not closed its gap and is trading upward sideways on the 1 minute chart, slowly but steadily. As you can see, this huge spike in volume really did not impact Dominion Resources to proceed lower. And like I said, you can see the MAC histogram forming lower lows. Lower lows on the MAC histogram. So we can see this proceed further. Once again, I'm going to pause it here, just let you take a look at the 10-minute once again, and go back to the 1 minute, and I'll continue once the move moves either way. As you can see, Dominion traded sideways right over here, just a little bit. Remember, we said we're getting in at 65.51, so it went up, traded sideways a little bit, and then exploded for the last 3 minutes and came back down. Now this is what is considered a resistance. However, Remember I told you about the 10-15 rule, and you only could do this on the 5-minute chart. If there's a new high from 10-15 on, or newer low, there will be a newer high or a newer low. For example, 10-15 hits, there's a new high. And throughout the day after 10:15, there was no new high yet. Well, we're expecting to see a higher high than that previous high at 10:15. For this matter, at 10:10, there was a newer high, but 10:15, there wasn't a newer high. But once again, this recording, I'm repeating myself, 10:25, there was a newer high. And at 10:40 and 10:50, it matched the previous newer high at 10:25, but had never formed a higher high. So we're looking for that higher high today. Otherwise, I would have said, hey, you know what, it's by resistance, let me get out of my position. But we also see the MAC histogram going positive and the 10-15 rule, the MAC histogram. And this bottom here is all in effect of a higher up move before the end of today. So I'll pause it once again and I'll start playing it, recording when there's a new high. Hey traders, I'm back and it's been over an hour now. As you see, Dominion Resources are trading sideways upwards. Looks like a bull flag. Looks like there's a shoulder here, a head here, and a shoulder here for a reversal head and shoulders. Uh, there's about 20 minutes left for this trading day until it closes. This is a 5-minute chart. This is what the 10-minute chart looks like. Looking healthy, looking strong. Now on the 1-minute chart, more support here. Here's a new bottom. Based on the 1-minute chart, my stop order will be increased from the previous stop order from 65.29 to 65.43. So the stop order was increased by, let's say, 15 cents or so, 14 cents, which your risk tolerance from $220 is now to $140. And our buy point was at 65.51. So the looks of it right now, our risk, if it did come down collapsing, we're looking at roughly uh, 8 cent risk. So that's about $80 from the original 220. So as you can see, we already cut our risk management by more than half. So right now you see it's going higher. Remember 10-15 rule. There was not another new high since after 1020. So we're expecting a newer high coming up hopefully before the market closes. It's currently at 3:39 p.m. So there's roughly 21 minutes left, and I believe there will be a new high. So there should be a surge in the next 20 minutes. I'll pause right here, and I'll start recording once the move hits a new high. Traders, there's 10 minutes left before the market closes. Excuse me, 6 minutes left. If you're a day trader and you don't hold overnight positions, I would exit out of Dominion over here for a profit. However, you see it didn't hit that new high yet, but there's 5 minutes left. Day traders usually are out at the end of the day before market close. If you're a swing trader, I would hold this position. Some of you might decide to sell half the position or hold it. That's perfectly fine. This is a 10-minute chart. This is a 1-minute chart. Everything looking good. When you look at the 30-minute, looking real good as well. Same thing for the 60. Bull flag right there. And the daily. Well, we have to go a couple of further days back. Well, you see it dropped for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight days it dropped. But this looks like a nice bounce. Looks like we can get about 68 for it, maybe a little more, but 68 looks like a good target price if you're a swing trader. So I'm going to stop this recording here, just under 10 minutes long. I hope you enjoyed the educational background of trading with a 1 minute, a 5 minute, a 10 minute, a 30 minute, a 60 minute, and a daily chart. Uh, this technique is good for traders, day traders, swing traders, trend traders. Uh, our next education will be on hammers. So we'll talk about more on hammers and support and upside down hammers and resistance, also known as dojis if it's at resistance. Uh, Join us at tradercircle.com. We're a social trading network, and we enjoy receiving feedback from other investors and traders such as myself. Thank you for listening to this posting.